So the motivation this morning, I'll have a short talk about the inner job description first, because the idea during the CPMT was to use the inner job description to do the motivation, so that some of you who might not know, might have forgotten about the inner job description and might get a new test. And so 4 of us, like a foundation service seminar, registered facilitators, and will lead each morning. And maybe just a quick show of hands first. Who knows about the inner job description? Ah, quite good. Who uses the inner job description every day? Huh? Who uses regularly? Okay. So it's interesting that we maybe all a little bit the same, like this, all the time things. And I was introduced to the inner job description in 2007 in the foundation training for compassionate service in Institut Vajaragini. I thought it was a great tool, and I guess we were 50 participants, maybe all thought it was a great tool, but probably and maybe 1 or 2 or none and used it afterwards. Then we talked about the inner job description in CPMT 2009. In Institut Vajaragini, and well, we're still there that most of us don't use it. So it's not like it's a commitment or that everybody in the FPMT has to use, but it's proven a great tool for many people and to use in the service. So I will just say a few words to maybe remind people. And the thing is that for the few of us who've raised hands, and maybe we were all like Helen and Rolka and Sarah, we participated in the Foundation Service Seminar in London in November. And to become registered facilitators for the training, we had to commit to use the inner job description for 6 months every day. So we had no choice. And that made the difference. So we used, and I'm sure, while we talked together, and for all of us, it's been really life-changing. And you can ask the others, and when you have opportunity. And but for myself, and I could see, like in 6 months, using the card, and more progress in integrating and the practice in the service than in 15 years serving the FPMT. So it really made a big difference. And so that's why, and we think it could be of use for some of us. And also, it's not only us, because like each of us, we have like 10, 100 people serving in our centers. It can be of use for them also. So that's why it's important for us to know and maybe to transmit, and it can help others. And the thing is, you all remember, and Rinpoche talks about the inner professional, and the inner job description is really about this. It's about making our service. Most of us, we don't have much time to study, we don't have much time to practice, so service is our practice. But how do we make the best use of our service to become, so that our service becomes the path to enlightenment? Well, this is a great tool. And you know, now in the morning we do this Mahayana mindfulness that Rinpoche advised. Well, this is the perfect tool to practice Mahayana mindfulness the whole day. And can be used morning, evening. Myself, I just use it in the evening. And it's also a great addition when you do the Vajrasattva in the evening. And first you do this, and then you really have concrete examples of things that you regret you've done during the day, but also things you rejoice of having done. And so it's a great tool, really. And many people in the world offer service, like all the people, like I always think of Rinpoche talking about his experience in a motel or restaurant on the road in the States, and having like the best service, and he would like all of us to offer this kind of service from just a waitress in the middle of nowhere in the States. But so many people offer service, but the way we are supposed to do is different, of course. And the thing is, this inner job description concentrates on the how we do service. So do we really do service with the bodhicitta attitude? Do we really use the service to train in the 6 perfections? And how do we listen to people? And do we talk with kind words? Do we really promote harmony in the way we talk to people? And all of us, we have so many interactions during the day. We have interactions with visitors to the centers, with staff, volunteers, and with the students. And so all these are opportunities to practice all these different types of attitudes. And if our mindfulness gets better, well, this is here really talking about Mahayana mindfulness. And so this is great opportunity to develop what Rinpoche calls our inner professional. And of course, if we can develop this, then we'll be like more inspiring for our staff, more inspiring for our volunteers, more inspiring for our students. And then we'll make a big, maybe we'll progress a lot faster towards enlightenment. Also, this is a great antidote, well, anti-burnout tool. Because if we really practice this on a daily basis or regularly, and then we'll be less focused on the result. We'll be less result-oriented, and we'll be more focused on the how. So it doesn't matter if there's many problems in the center. It doesn't matter if the outcomes are not good and the center, the finances are not going well, and there's all these problems. But we'll be more focused on our inner practice. And so whatever happens, and it will really be an opportunity. So the service will really become the path to enlightenment. And so, well, that was kind of reminding and what it is about. We will talk more about it in the next few days. But you have to know that on the FPMT webpage, if you do a search in a job description, you'll find this card, and also you all have it in the documents that have been given you, this in a job description card. So you can start using today, and I think Claire and all the committee would like to encourage you to use during CPMT, so you can try. And there is some explanations also on the back of the page. And during the motivation that we'll do every morning, we'll just have a small test of some of the attitudes. But to go fast, and the idea is at least once a day or twice a day or several times a day to go through the whole sets. So there's 3 sets of attitudes. 6 are under the bodhicitta attitude, and then there's the 6 perfections, and then there's 8 for developing skillful communication. It has proven for some of us really helpful and really life-changing. I think we all use that word, life-changing. So maybe you want to give it a try. And also, there will be, in the future, one day in a job description seminars, and Amy Keaton is working on them. So that will be something that can be provided for you, volunteers, staff, and to help them in their service as well. So be aware of that and check it out with Tom, and later it will come out. And it's also part of the foundation service seminars that will be offered regionally in different places. And so it's available. So I had to be really fast because I had only 5 minutes to present the whole thing that will take 1 or 2 days in a seminar format. But I'd now like to invite you to maybe sit maybe up straight. And we'll go more into a kind of meditative posture. Maybe take a few deep breaths to calm your mind. And we'll now reflect on the first of the bodhicitta attitudes. I will think of others more than myself. So maybe we can project ourselves back in our center, project or service, in our office, working on some important email or project. somebody comes in unexpected and has a complaint or request. What is most important for us at that time? Take care of that other person? Get rid of that other person so I can finish my job? Maybe think of an example of when you really took care, or maybe you didn't manage. Either you rejoice or you regret. And then we can resolve that we're going to try to apply extra mindfulness to all our interactions. So always others will come first. And maybe we can reflect, like today, in our interactions in groups and pairs and breaks, our contribution to the meeting. What can I do to place others first? What concrete step can I take today, this morning? To think of others more than myself. Then second bodhicitta attitude is, I myself will make a difference. And we can start rejoicing. We've traveled this so far, lot of expenses, lot of efforts. And so that we could contribute in fulfilling Rinpoche's vision. And Mahayana Dharma needs our contribution. Beings need our contribution. And we thought we could make a difference, so we came. So let's rejoice. And now today, this morning, this meeting, how can I make a difference? We can resolve that. We're going to put extra mindfulness, apply extra mindfulness. So really, every session, every minute, we can make a difference. So that our service, our being part of this organization, really becomes the path to enlightenment. really becomes the cause for us reaching enlightenment and being able to bring all beings to enlightenment. Thank you.
And I feel a little bit ashamed and not appropriate that I would be here this time and not having much to say, but Claire pushed me. So I felt I had no choice. And so you remember we started the day with having a look at some of the attitudes and that are in the job description. So we started with a few of the bodhicitta attitudes. And so maybe we can take a few moments to reflect again and maybe think about the day we've spent today. And if you want, first remember that we started with I will think of others more than myself. So maybe we can look back at the day we had, the morning sessions, how we involved in the discussion, how we interacted during the breaks, during the lunch break, and how we listened. And how do we feel about all these interactions? Was it more for myself? Was it more for others? And as we said, we can rejoice already that just being here, and if it was just for ourselves, I don't think we would have made all these thousands and thousands of kilometers, all these hours of traveling. So this was already, and acting for others with our body, and then probably with our speech during today. And we've been listening to others. We try to involve in kind words. Maybe we praised others. We try to promote harmony in our interactions with others. So all this we can rejoice. And if we feel that maybe at some point it was more for myself than for others, well, we can regret. And we can take the resolution that in the next break and this evening, tomorrow, the next days, we will apply extra mindfulness to be as much as possible for others, with our body, with our speech, and with our mind. And we can contemplate also the second of these bodhicitta attitudes. I myself will make a difference. And maybe we can think of occasions during the day. Maybe we crossed someone and we had the intention to smile and we smiled, and sometimes that can be enough to make a difference. Or we felt someone seemed maybe lonely, and we went and talked with that person. Or simply we shared our experience, whatever knowledge, skill we have just sharing this can make a difference. But we can always do more, so maybe we can also resolve that next sessions, next days, I will keep trying to be as mindful as possible, not to miss any opportunity to make a difference with our body, smiles, speech, talk, and mind, our intentions. And then you remember that this morning we also contemplated providing whatever beings need. So, same thing, to keep this mindfulness throughout the day, throughout the meeting, throughout all our service. Whatever beings need. They need food, they need smiles, they need Dharma, they need books, they need teachings. All the time to be mindful, to try to answer, even if we don't have clairvoyance, but do our best to provide whatever they can need. And by reflecting in these ways on our attitudes and we can rejoice that not only we offering service to the center, to the Dharma, to Rinpoches, to all beings, but at same time we making huge progress towards enlightenment, because this is when we'll really be able to help beings. And but to do this, and we have to work on our minds, and in our interactions with others and in our service we have so many opportunities to develop the bodhicitta attitude, to develop the 6 perfections, to listen better to people, to have more skillful communication. So at the same time we develop our skills, we develop our perfections, and we develop our bodhicitta. So our service really becomes a path to enlightenment. And to conclude, we can just rejoice that we're so fortunate that we're able to serve in that way. That's the best we can do with our lives. And we have all the tools, and this is one more tool to apply this Mahayana mindfulness in our service. This is so meaningful and precious. So thank you, Rinpoche, for giving us this opportunity.
I just, sorry, I noticed that I just drank the tea with self-chasing thoughts. It's very bad. attending the tea for others. So that's immediate one. The next one, done with the self-checking thought.